Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. Today we are going to make a really fun card using the on display stamp and die set. So I'm really looking forward to this. Let me take a minute and share this to the group. While I'm doing that, why don't everybody tell me what they did today? Okay, I just shared it to the group. That'll just take a minute to share. Today, I chilled. I actually made these two samples today, and I made a scrapbook layout. So I guess I could say I did a little crafting. I also chilled a little bit in the morning up till about noon because I haven't been feeling great. Okay, and I did my tagging so that people know we're here. Okay, there we go. I did start just a tad bit early so I can get everything set up. Let me go over a few things before I start while I'm waiting for some people to hop on. Excuse me, as I said, I haven't been feeling great, so if I cough, I'm sorry. If you made a purchase during the bonus days, make sure that you use your bonus coupons before the end of February. I still need to do that on mine, so but don't forget to do that. Also, we have a really good join special. Oh, and I got my box. I didn't bring it down here yet. I got my box with the new Stampin'. I don't know I can't remember what they call it. Their new Stamparatus. So I wanted to show that, but I am going to do a live demonstrating the new stamping platform. But like I said, I haven't been feeling that great, so I haven't done it yet, but I will. But the point is that if you become a demonstrator in the month of February, you get that stamping platform absolutely free. And that's in addition to the, hi Julie, hi Mom. That's in addition to the normal bonus kit that you get. So it's a really absolutely amazing deal. Even if you just sign up to get the free stamping platform, I don't push people. I try and provide guidance and information without being harassing because, you know, I'm not trying to get people to become the top salespeople. I mean, I'd love it if we did, but I'm not pushy like that. But I think it's a good deal to get the free stamping apparatus. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to make today. So I've made a few sample cards here. This is my first sample card. This is the one that was on my advertisement. You can see it looks kind of like a bookshelf, and then it's got all of these fun things that you can put on your bookshelf. And so here are sort of the stamps that there are. This is a stamp and a die bundle. I did just look, and I think that the stamps are sold out. but you can still get the dies, which I think is the most important part of them all, because everything pretty much you can use without the stamps. So it is on last chance. So I think that's why they went pretty quickly. So these are really, really cute, but you need the dies in order to make the little bookshelf. But you can make a card without the bookshelf. So that's why I did this card, because I wanted to show you that you don't have to make it look like a bookshelf. Like this does look kind of just like a regular shelf. But you don't have to make it the whole big bookshelf look. And then I made this one, which I thought was kind of fun. This one is going a landscape. And so I wanted to show a combination of things you can stamp, but things that you can just die cut. This one I did a lot. Well, I guess I did some stamping on it. So we're going to make one of these today, and you guys can help me. I have kind of a thought about what I'm going to make, but if there's something you really want to see, let me know. I tried to use about everything in here. So like I used the books here, stamped. This is a stamped books. I used the flags here. I used the little jug here and here. I didn't stamp those though. I love this little like cut glass bottle. I used it here. There's two other bottles. They could be vases or something. I used them there. The globe. I did try and use the globe. I used this plant here. These flowers I used here. This is the kind of the jar to that plant. This one you can see the stamped has a really pretty like filigree set, but if you do just the dies, it looks just more straight, plain. It doesn't have the swirly things in it. The parakeets I did use on this one. This one might be a little bit hard to see in there, but I do have the parakeets in there. The frame, let's see, I did use a frame there and here. I framed a little cat there. And then I have the cat, and you can make the stripes on the cat. I did that here. I made that look kind of like Hobbs. Okay, so those are all. I tried to use all of the stamps for the most part. The words, I used a couple of the words. In a couple weeks when I do a fun fold, the center step fun fold, I use a lot more of the words. And then the dies, there's some that don't have stamps associated with it, like these vines that hang down. Let's see. Oh, then there's this jar. It has a really pretty, like embossed design in there. It's hard to tell a little bit. And then there are some books that are dies that don't have stamps with it. So that's about it. So if there's anything in particular you would like me to use, I'll try it out. You love the cat? Or the cat picture. Yeah, I tried to make this little cat picture. Because I did a parakeet in this one, but it's hard to see the parakeet because I used, I think, canary yellow for the canary. So it's a little bit hard. So I thought, well, let's put the cat in there. Let's put the cat. There's no dog. There's no dog stamp, so I had to use the cat. Okay, are we ready to go to try it out? Okay, I think I'm going to do a white card background. On this one, I chose the, this is Daffodil Delight because I had made the cat yellow and I did the parakeets. So I did the yellow, but I think I'm gonna do a white because I have a white card base right here. I'll just keep these here for inspiration, I guess. So the first thing I want to do is cut out the bookcase. Okay. And so I don't know if you can see, but the bookcase does have, like embossing on here so that it comes out to be a little bit like a wood grain bookshelf. I guess we're gonna have to move this stuff to cut these out. Okay, using my stamp cut and emboss machine. And let's see, this one, actually on both of these, I think I used pecan pie as my bookcase. Okay, so I used pecan pie. I felt that was the closest to wood. I have seen some where people use white, because you know white bookcases are really popular right now. So you could do that. I've also seen somebody do the whole thing kind of in teal colors. So the bookcase and a lot of the items inside. Okay, so it comes out like this, and then you do get all of these little pieces that you can use for drawers or cabinet doors, which I did do. I'll show you in at least one of my, you can see on this one, you can see I made doors using those. Another thing I thought is these make really nice cutouts for like your sentiments. You know what I mean? On any card. It doesn't even have to be on these cards. This is nice to keep just in your little stash if you're looking for a cutout. Because I think you guys know I don't like to just stamp words onto card and then cut around it. I like to stamp it on some kind of shape. So to me, these are going to be really great. Maybe, I don't know, not this color a lot, but I would maybe cut a few out in white. That would be good. Okay, like I said, I'm going to put this on white. But the one thing you want to think about is if you're going to put some kind of backing in it. So this one, I used craft as my back to the bookcase. This one, I used some pattern paper to make it look like there was kind of some, I don't know, wallpaper or, you know, some kind of design on the back, or even like, imagine this is one of those, what was that company called? Solder, S-A-U-D-E-R, where you could put together some cheap bookcases and it had that like cardboard back. I don't know. That's kind of what this reminds me of. I do have some of this laid, so I might be using this. This is from the Christmas paper, and I thought it matched nice. It matched very nicely. So either that, or you could use the pieces that you cut out of the, you know, back of the these pieces that I just was talking about. But if you put this paper underneath, it looks like it's behind. If you put these pieces in, then it's going to be the same thickness. Oh, and here I pop these up, but you know, if you want this to be the background of it, you're not really going to be able to see much of a difference. So And then I cut my paper 3.5 by 5. And that fits perfectly behind the bookcase. Okay, and so what I did for that one is I actually put adhesive on the back of the bookcase and then put it on top of here. So let's go ahead and do that. And I don't want to jinx myself, but this is my last roll of this type of adhesive. So I don't want to go too crazy. Okay, I think that's everything, right? Oops. Now let's put this down, and if you do it just right, it won't hang over the edge at all. There we go, perfect. That's absolutely perfect. So see the background, really cute. And then let's put this on the card to get this started. I am going to leave a little bit of room, more room at the top than at the bottom, because I'm going to put this piece on and I want there to be room, okay? Okay, I'm going to put that on at the end so that I could fit things under here. So why don't we let's start off with let's do one of these bottles. Which bottle? I'm going to take this bottle. I think that'll fit here. And then I think I'm going to put the flag. Okay? So let's cut him out of, let's cut him out of some kind of gray. I've got a whole bunch of just scrap paper that I've been using. So that I have all the colors. Let's see, let's cut this one. That's going to be this color. That's going to be that color. And it should fit right there. Nice. The one thing I found that's a little bit, not difficult, but the only difficult part, because most of this is just fun and experimental, is, you know, you want to use different colors. So getting the colors that look good together. I've had to remake a few things because I didn't like my color choices. Okay. I choose a gray. I should have maybe left this on there. Now let's cut out the flag. The flag I'm going to do in white. Look how many pieces there are. There's a lot of pieces. Let's see if it says how many pieces are in this die set. It's 29 dies, and it's actually on sale for last chance. When I bought it, it was $39 for the dies, for these dies, and now the dies are $23.40. So I think that's a pretty good deal. I'll drop a link here in a minute. Okay. And you know what? If you were more organized than me, you might decide, okay, I know all the white pieces I'm going to cut, so let's cut them all at once and so on, but that's not how I roll. So we're going to just make this up as we go along, and we'll cut them as we go. Because I do like to have some input from the audience here, if there's anything you want me to try. Okay. So I really like that flamingo. I use flamingo there. Let's see. This is papaya. Let's use papaya. This is close to my heart colors. I don't have flamingo, the Stampin' Up spots, so. Let's find the flags. And you know what? I wasn't 100% sold on these flags, why they would be on your bookshelf. I still kind of don't know. Do you have these little pennants on your bookshelf? I mean, I guess I do in my office. I have Chicago Cubs pennant, but I don't know. Okay. Not too bad. I brought my whole rack of close to my heart colors here so that we could explore. Okay, I don't want to forget to put that die away too, because I will lose it. As sure as not. So let's put this back. Okay, let's add it to our card. I think I'm going to put it down here. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of die. I was surprised at how many dies that there were. 29 plus all these shapes. Okay, and then stick this one down a little bit. Okay, I like that. Why don't we put this guy in here, just so you could see what it looks like. I am going to pop that up, and I think I brought, yes, I brought, and you don't really need to pop it up, but I really wanted it to be obvious that it was like a door. And they do have little handles. Is that what you would call them, handles? And you know, on here I used, this is that copper ore paper. I really love that. I might use that one here. Here I used black, which I think is really nice. It's a very common to have that black wrought iron handles. So, but I think I might use the copper ore. And I think yeah. It's like I knew I had a sheet here. I'm kind of just working my way from the bottom up to the top. Okay, and these little handles come as kind of a duo. So maybe we'll put them on another one if we want. I just think that the copper ore paper, I wonder if the copper ore paper is still available. I'll look. Okay. I put this away here. Let me look about the copper ore. Okay, here's the link to the on display dies, these dies. I think it's this one, Earth and Tone Metallic. Okay. This seems kind of big. Was there a smaller one? No, okay, let's just put this here. I'm going to put it across like this. Cute. I don't know. Let's put it up and down. It just feels like it doesn't fit going up and down as much. Okay, I'm gonna have to think that, but we'll see. Okay, next let's do the bird cage because I really want to do the bird cage. I was thinking a kind of a silver color. Here I use this gold metallic. This is from the paper Michaela brought me back from Japan. Oh, and speaking of that, she brought me a whole nother set of paper from Japan and some stamps. So I think for my spring workshop, I might use that as an incentive. Okay, I'm going to look for another gray for the bird cage. Okay, I found a lighter shade. And FYI, I did take a NyQuil right before the live started, so it was time for my medicine and it was too late to take a regular one. So if my senses are not so sharp, that's why. Okay. Let's do the bird cage. So this is kind of like a silver bird cage. I want to show you how the bird cage comes. So it comes in actually two pieces. And the reason is if you're going to stamp it, you can cut the stamped image out with the outside piece. You see, you can stamp and then cut this, which I could do. But since the stamps aren't available, I'm going to just use this. And then you can just use this piece, which is what I did here, Whoops, is a smaller, it's a little bit thinner. But on this one, I use both. I use the outside piece and the inside piece. So that is 2 pieces nestled together. Isn't there a set of medium metallic in bottles? I have to try and figure out what you're saying. I'm not sure. And again, that's probably from my NyQuil brain, so I could antique up a piece. Okay. Okay, now these ones have a lot of little pieces. So you will have to kind of pop those out. Okay, let's see. Still got this one here. Okay. Here we go. Let's put this here. I'm going to put, oh, does that stand out enough? I don't know if that stands out enough on the, that background. I don't think it does. I might have to go with the gold. I've got some of the gold foil sheets left. Let's see if this one will. Or white. Maybe white would be. What do you think for a bird cage? I think maybe white. Let's try white. I'll save this one for later. If not, we'll do the gold. Metallic enamel effects. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, I do have metallic enamel effects. What, are those still available? I'm going to check as we cut this. I have them because I bought them at that Christmas. Not this past Christmas, the Christmas before. But I think bird cages are often white. Sometimes you just have to find what looks the best. Like I was saying, you know, you have to play around. Okay, yeah, I like the white better. So let's put that there. I'm just going to kind of hang it there. Maybe hang it from the top. Kind of like, there's this little like hook at the top, so there we go. Now on this one, I stamped the parakeets behind the cage, but I think this time I might stamp it and then cut it out. So let's try that. Let's stamp, and I will make him yellow. I'm going to use canary because I feel like that's needed. However, the birds come in a pair of 3. So I'll show you what they look like. There we go. On this one, I stamped all 3. On this one, what I did is I used a Post-it and I masked the ink on the other 2 so that I only inked up that center one. But this time, I think I'm just going to, fussy cut around it. I'm gonna do a little bit of a rough cut, and then this is pretty small though. Let's see. This one doesn't have a die that is, specific to the one bird. Okay. And then I'm going to just glue him right on top of the cage. Now that may not make sense. I mean, we don't want our bird outside of the cage, but I think you'll be able to see it better if you do that. Or I could have cut one of these other ones. Let's see. Maybe he will look like he's sitting on the perch a little bit more. I guess we want these to be in a pair, don't we? Well, I guess they're not lovebirds. There we go. I'll put 2 of them together. Okay, now let's do let's do this thing here. So here I'm going to cut. So this is kind of a 2-part set, or 2-part die, I guess, because you cut out this. It does come with the little, almost looks like a bowl, but that's just so you have someplace to stick it underneath. There's another die cut that you can put on top. That way it doesn't have to be all green, because I'm going to cut this out of green. And if you don't want your bowl to be green, you need to cut it, twice. Okay, I got all those pieces out of there. So let's cut some green. I think this is garden green. And then what color should we do the base? I think I'm going to do Cajun Craze. So here is the die cut plant. And then there's also this pot that you can use to cut out. Oh, I was going to say, where's the top piece? There it is. Okay. Cajun Craze. Put this away. Now, if you want, you could mess around with these a little bit if you wanted to. Let's see. So you wanted to take, I would probably take a finger dauber. Let's see. Let's try this one. If you wanted to, just give it a little bit of character, a little bit darker on the edges or something. You don't have to. But I'm just showing you what you could do, just so it doesn't look quite so flat. There we go. That was avocado. So I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to try not to put the tips down because this is going to, besides the base, it is going to overlap some of the next pieces. So I'm going to just really push down around in here and leave these a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to put this. You could pop this up if you want to. I'm not going to because I've already got this one popped up. So there we go. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. We need to put the cat, don't we? We need to do the cat. So let's get the cat. Let's do the cat. I know you're all waiting for the cat. So let's cut him out of white. What color should we make the cat? I was thinking the gray because it shows up pretty well. What do you think? The cat does have a die. If Vicky's not here to guide me on what color I should do the cat. The only thing I don't think I could do is make like, what is her new cat, Ewan? Is that called a calico, or is this one that I made a calico? With the gray with the stripes. Or is the one that's like got spots a calico? Okay, so let's cut out the cat. Now you guys know I'm not one to like to cut and then stamp. But with these ones, I am doing that. I feel like, I don't know what should be there. If I didn't lose something. Gray, yeah, I was thinking gray. So let's do a light gray. I think I'm going to try and do it like that one. Okay, last time I used mink. So this is a two-step stamp. So let's do the whole cat's body. So you can make a solid cat if you want to. You don't have to make it striped. Here we go. He's kind of cute. Although I did kind of mess up my mink. I used a different color brush when I was blending. I don't know what I did to it. Okay, so this is the solid cat. And then there is a stripe. And it took me actually a little while to figure out what this stripe thing was. I was like, is that a lobster? What is that? But it's just the stripes of the cat. Okay. So let's use charcoal. So it's a little bit darker. This is the color combination I used there. The problem is this is a little bit hard to get lined up, and I hope my head's not in the way. There we go. It's not too bad. Oops, I meant to wipe that off. Okay. I think Darcy heard cat and he came running down here. So that's the two-step stamping. But before I put him down, I'm going to put him here. Before I put him down, I want to put one of these hanging, this hanging vine. I don't know what that's called. It's like a succulent, isn't it? Because I'm going to have him laying on that. Like it's a little cushion. That's here. Let me know if you guys have this set and if you've used it yet. What you've made with it. Okay. These ones are not, this one came out pretty easy. When I did these two, I had to really pop it out. Okay, so let's put this down first. But okay, before I do that, I was going to make this be filled in, and I was going to stamp my sentiment on that one. So why don't we do that before we put that in? Let's stamp our sentiment. I think I'm going to stamp You're the Best. And then I'm going to have this hang down over top of that. So I'm going to just stamp You're the Best over here. Okay, and I'm probably going to do that in black so it shows up. You have it but haven't used it yet? Well, here you go. It's your time to just... This is really fun because you can see I've made some very different looking cards. I think these would be really cute for Mother's Day. If I was doing it for Mother's Day, I'd put a whole bunch of maybe little picture frames. And if you were really a overachiever, you can maybe use the die and cut around really small pictures of maybe even just something like in a magazine or something, you know, like it's family pictures or something. Because you could cut out people's pictures, but that little piece is so small. And there are two different kinds of frames. There's the square frame, rectangular frame, and then there's the oval frame. So since I stamped the sentiment on this one and I'm popping it up, I stamped the sentiment first, which I'm glad I remembered to do that. Okay, let's put this here. Okay. I think we're going to have to pop this up a little bit to fit over that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this up on a dot, but then I will use the cat to cover it. Oh, and you need to put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom. So it stays on that. There we go. And then you could put the cat right like that. I'm just going to put one the pop dot because this is already popped up. But I am going to keep in mind that I'm going to put that top frame on there, so I don't want it to get too high. And then let's put maybe some books there, kind of like I did here. Let's cut some books. I think maybe I will... What color should I make the books? I did see some Christmas ones of these. So if you're interested in seeing that, I can post some of those. But it would be fun to do, like Valentine's would be cute. I think it, you know, those stickers, the Valentine's stickers, I think probably have small stickers you could put on there. Okay, let's cut some books. Let's see. Let's do this peacock. And I think I will, so for the dies, there's these books that are up and down on the shelf like that. There's 7 books. And then there's a couple dies for these 3 book sets. And then there's also this die that you can stamp. But I'm going to use this one with all of the books. And we'll see how this looks. If not, I can cut it in Cajun Craze too. And see which one I like better. Okay, there we go. They've got, it's got the division between the different books, and then some of them have the horizontal lines that look like there's writing on it, like the title and maybe the author. Okay, so let's put that, I'm going to put that kind of behind the sleeping cat. And so he's going to go, these are going to go just right on the card base. I'm not going to pop these up at all because these are behind. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's put something here. Let's do, one thing I haven't used yet is, these, big fern things. So let's do these. Now I'm trying to see, is there a die? I didn't think there was a, oh yeah, there is a die. Here, this one. So let's cut these first. Okay, I found some white to cut this out first. Okay. Cut that out and then we'll stamp it. I wanted to try and use all of the dies so you could see what they all look like. And the stamp, all of the dies and stamps. Now you'll see that all of these, like I said, all these flowers and that have the little piece that's attached that can go under your vase. So you could choose different vase bottoms if you want. Put this away so you can see it. This one has it, this one has it, this one has it. Even this one here has it. Okay. Probably going to use that fern again. You could use garden green if you have it, because I did cut this, I think, out of garden green. Okay, let's see if I can get these lined up pretty good without sticking my head into the camera. There we go. Oh, not too bad. Okay, let's see, what color vase do we want to use? I might use a gray vase. I mean, I could use Cajun Craze, or I could use this, but I think maybe this one would be the best. Okay. Gray. And let's use this one here. So we're using a combination of the stamps and the dies, but you know, you don't have to. Like this one, I used all dies. The only stamp I did was a sentiment. Okay, let's pop this out of here. And add this. Okay, this one goes down first. Just make sure that you leave enough room for this. Okay, I'm gonna put this here. Okay, and then add the vase or the bowl. We're getting close to being done here. Now up in the corner, let's do the globe. Now it took me a couple times to try the globe because, let's do, here's the globe. What actually is, it's kind of deceptive, but what you stamp is the water. You stamp the water, and the continents are like recessed. Okay, the first time I did it, I thought you were stamping the continents. So what I discovered is that I turned the stamp wrong side up. Let's see if I can get it here. So it's just the flat, no images, and I did like this. Let me see, Seabrook. Let's try Seabrook. Water. No, let's do Sage. And I did second generation stamping. So let's ink it up. Remember, this is just the back side. So I'm just going to get a plain circle. That's second generation stamp because we don't want it to be too dark. Okay, there we go. Because I'm going to stamp over that. Okay, so that was Sage, because that's going to be the continent. And now let's do, let's see, what color do we think I did on that? Lagoon, I think Lagoon. Okay, so I'm going to do Lagoon for the ocean. And then stamp this right over top, and I'm trying to line it up as best I can without sticking my head under the camera. Okay, not too bad. But now we have to cut that out with the die. The circle that I did the second generation stamping is obviously going to be a little bit bigger than the other because it's not meant to be stamped, right? It's the back. So okay, we're going to cut this out. But then we also, there is a globe kind of stand. I was thinking like an espresso. I have an espresso here. Oh, and obviously that's what I did before. Oh, okay, let me show you. This was my trial. I tried to stamp the globe onto this blue paper, thinking it would serve as the ocean, but you're actually stamping the ocean. So I made my continents blue, and then the ocean was green. So I learned very quickly that you need to switch it around. Okay, we're going to cut these at the same time. And guys, don't let me forget, I've forgotten the past two weekends, yeah, to select the winner for the January Sketch Challenge. So don't let me forget. Okay. Okay, here we go. And then, is that all of the pieces, or do we have one more piece? We have one more piece, I think. Our globe turned out pretty good, and our little piece that was here. This is a very thin piece. It's amazing how thin that is. Yeah, we have this spot down there. Okay, let's glue that down. Oh, what did I do? Here it is. Oh, this little piece is so thin. Let's adhere this down. Now the continents kind of have a North America, South America. Let me see. I think it goes kind of like this, but it's not really perfect. There we go. Actually, that globe that I did the test on would be good for Space Ranger Spin, because there is a hidden Mickey on the wall in the queue to Space Ranger Spin. It's a planet that's kind of, I think, Mickey shape. And there's some weird planets on there, so that would be kind of cute. Okay, so now this last one, let's put a picture frame. What color picture frame should we do? Let's see, will this one fit? Let's do the square one. What color should we do the picture frame? It's kind of do like a, do I have a mink? Okay, I do have a mink. And what should we put in the picture frame, guys? I don't know if I still have that one parakeet. If I still have the parakeet, if I can find him, I'll put that in there. Now you'll see when the picture frame comes out, it does come out in two pieces that fit together. So what I did is I cut this out twice, and I cut it out with the frame color, and then I will cut it out with white. That way you could stamp the image on the white. Or you could just put a, cut a piece of white paper and put it behind. But then you'd have to cut the square just right. So now you have a white frame you can use later if you want. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's put him here. It's not bad. Now, I mean, this might seem like it takes a while. I mean, it's taken me an hour to make a card, which truthfully is not that long to make a card. However, what I think you could do is some night whenever you're sitting around watching TV, watching the Olympics or something, just cut a bunch of these pieces out. I do have the one parakeet, so let's cut him out. Then you have all these pieces, and then you can just assemble. Now I might have just stamped this right onto the frame, but since I had already stamped this, let's see how this goes. If not, we could stamp it again directly on there. I think this might work. There. I am going to trim off a little bit at the bottom because he can't hang out the top of the bottom of the picture frame, right? Okay. And another good thing is we made it with the tape, my adhesive. Okay, now all we need to do is put that on the top, but we're almost done. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Now we just need to put the top on. let's see if I do have some pecan pie. Oh, you know what? I've already got a piece right here that's perfectly cut for that. Okay, and that's right here. I was going to see if I have the metallic, whatever you call that, the metallic ink stuff. My brain is a little bit fried, guys, from my taking NyQuil. Okay. Now this one, it has these fancy designs, but it does not have the wood embossing on it. And I am going to pop this up. You can see why I wanted to kind of put these on here first, because now this is going to cover it up a little bit. Oh, let's see. I want to put it this way. But you could put it anyway, but I think it goes that way. Let's use the little ones. There, she's starting to bark here. It's not even that late though, really. Okay, I cut one of those in half. Okay. Did everybody have a nice Valentine's Day weekend? I actually chilled in bed Valentine's Day because I was really trying to take it easy from being sick, but I had gone out to dinner earlier in the week. I was supposed to go with Jean to Wicked Pop-Up, but I just couldn't do it. Okay, let's set this here. You want to try to make sure it's even. Okay, there you go. What do you guys think? Isn't that cute? And these are all so different. Or watching me. I didn't get the first part of that, D. So this is the one we just made, which I love. And so I think with all of these, I've used all of the dies and stamps, most of the stamps. Okay, while I'm thinking about it, I never did pull a winner for the January sketches. So this is who posted a card or scrapbook layout in January. So let's spin the wheel. And you could get if you're new, you can get a slot on the wheel. Diana won. You can get a slot on the wheel each week if you submit that week's. Oops. I touched it by accident. Every week I post a sketch. If you make a sample using that sketch, I'll put your name on the wheel and then I will send you a prize. So I will be sending something to Diana. Thanks. I do have, let's see, what week is this? There's been, I think, 2 sketches for February. So there's a couple more sketches that are to come out. Next week, we are going to be making a scrapbook layout. And this is the scrapbook layout we're going to make. I used the Hobby Haven suite. So this is what I did this time, but it's a, fun layout. Hobby Haven is such a cute suite. It's got, I don't know why it's skincare. Like, I don't know, maybe that's some people's hobby, but there's photography. There's like art painting. There's some cooking stuff. There's books. There's sewing. Well, actually, I'll just show you some of the themes because the week after that, we're going to be making this card. So here's my sewing. There's sewing example. I've got the book example. And then there's like this cute, cozy house example. And then there's the skincare. So we're making the scrapbook layout next week. Oh, yeah, perfect. That's a great idea. Yeah, sit and watch. Sit and cut out all of these, just when you're have some mindless time. Okay, so I said at the beginning, I don't know if you guys were on, but if you did purchase anything during the bonus days time, be sure to use your coupons before the end of February. Your $5 coupons that you got. There's the amazing join special. If you become a demonstrator in the month of February, you get the new stamping platform absolutely free. Plus, you get your new demo kit that you can select the items from. So that's on top of that. I did receive mine, and I will be doing a live just showing you how to use it. I'll probably do that next week. I wanted to do it last week, but the problem is I just couldn't talk that well. It's not that I felt that bad, but I couldn't talk that great because of all this congestion. But now I'm feeling a little bit better in terms of congestion. I think I can do it. So I will demo that. Okay? And then next week we're doing the scrapbook layout. Okay? Well, thanks for watching. And I hope to see you next week. Bye.